Okay, guys, let's talk for a second, okay? What do you think are the chances that... I feel like... So I feel like Trump is doing something that's, like, pretty huge right now, right? I feel like, if you listen to all the different conservative talk radio people, right? Listen to Glenn Beck, you listen to Rush Limbaugh, you listen to, are these just people that I've listened to on and off? Megan McCain? There's a few other, but I don't remember their names. Billy, the guy that does the Sunday night radio. Billy Cunningham. So if you haven't noticed, people are like crazy fucking, people are crazy fucking, like divided over Trump. People are super fucking ass pained over Trump. Some people, I'm not playing Undertale. Somebody gifted it to me. People are like really divided over Trump. Some people earlier, where did we go on this? Oh, I don't know. So yeah, there are some people that like think that what Trump is doing is pretty cool and they like him, and there are some people that absolutely fucking hate Trump and don't want him to see anything anywhere. Don't want him to see him anywhere near the presidency, and they think that he's fucking the Republican Party up. What do you think are the chances that what do you think are the chances that there's a big like schism in the Republican Party and the Tea Partiers all fuck off and go form their own political party? I feel like if that happened, I feel like the Republican Party could actually become a real political party in the United States again. Not only a real political party, but I think like a sick as fuck political party that could actually like give the Democrats a run for their money again. I don't think it'll happen, because I think if the party splits in two, obviously it just makes both sides weaker. But holy fuck, that would be so fucking dank. Crashing this party with no survivors. I feel like if you were part of the I hate to say like the Republican establishment, because I don't even know what the fuck that means these days. What is the Tea Party? So in the United States, you have two parties, pretty much, and then some random third parties. No, I guess fuck. You've got the Democrats, and then you've got the Republicans. So the way that it works in the United States, kind of, is that you have the Democrats who tend to be... Oh, actually, I should probably put this the other way around. The Democrats tend to be more liberal, left-leaning, and the Republicans tend to be more conservative, right-leaning. Okay, so conservatives are supposed to be for smaller government, more capitalism, less social entitlement programs, stuff like that. Democrats are supposed to be for more entitlement, more welfare, and more socialist kind of ways of thinking, right? Now, notice that I used more as a qualifier before every word. The Democrats are not socialist communists looking to take all the money from all the rich people, and the Republicans are not hardcore anarcho-capitalist libertarians who want, right, ideally in a perfect world. So where we're at right now with political parties in the United States is the Democrats, for the impression that I get is the Democrats are relatively on the same page. There's a lot of issues that a lot of Democrats seem to agree on that are fairly rational issues. When we talk about things like healthcare, most Democrats are relatively on the same page that the government needs to be more involved. Now, whether that means single payer or just furthering of the Affordable Care Act is up for debate, but for the most part, they seem to be relatively on the same page. When we talk about things like abortion, Democrats tend to be okay with that, with women's rights to have abortion. When we talk about things like marijuana, Democrats all seem to be on the same page about marijuana. So like all these social issues, Democrats seem to be I think I fucked that up. Marijuana. Oh no, that was right. I think we were good. We talk about things like marijuana. We talk about things like climate change. Talk about things like gay marriage. talk about things like the economy as a whole, in terms of like taxing businesses more or having more entitlement programs for less wealthy people. It seems like the Democrats seem to be relatively on the same side here, right? Which is good, right? So the party, for the most part, is pretty unified. So when the Democrats get to talking about things, what the Democrats are talking about are who can further this agenda more effectively, right? And that's essentially what you see right now going on in the Democrat Party. You have Bernie Sanders versus Hillary Clinton, who, even though, and me included, have made these people out to be polar opposites, in reality, Bernie Sanders and Clinton, at least on paper, stand for essentially the same things, right? Where they want to see businesses and banks punished more. They want to see maybe a little bit more social entitlement, a little bit of a furthering of what Obama did with healthcare, more responsible EPA, environmental protection, EPA stuff. Like, for the most part, they seem to be education, right? Being a right to people, good education being a right to people. For the most part, Hillary and Bernie on paper agree with most of these things. Now, whether or not Hillary can deliver because we're funding, I don't think so. But for the most part, at least they agree. Okay. Now the problem is, for the Republicans, what you have is, now, some Democrats are really fucking stupid, okay? Some Democrats are hardcore socialists, communists, like really fucking crazy hardcore, right? Every party has these little tumors of people that are whatever, okay? So in the Republican Party, we'll put H for hippie here, I guess, I don't know. Now, in the Republican Party, unfortunately, instead of being a tumor that's maybe a little malignant, what we have in the Republican Party is a fucking black hole, okay? That is the Tea Party. And what this hole has done is grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. And now what you have is this disgusting, cancerous thing here that's essentially trying to hijack the Republican Party. So the origin of the Tea Party probably starts back to around 2007-ish, I think. Let me check. Hold on. Supported various political parties since 2009. Okay, so maybe a little bit later than that. Okay, so around 2009. I feel like it started around that Obama election time. So what the Tea Party is the Tea Party... Oh, man. So initially, the problem was the establishment, the Republican establishment, couldn't win elections, right? We were having these issues where a lot of people disagreed with shit that happened with Bush. A lot of people thought that, Republicans are they're not going in the right direction. The Republican establishment is getting too liberal, right? Because a lot of Republicans didn't like McCain. A lot of Republicans fucking hated McCain, okay? Because McCain was too centrist, and he would try to cross the aisle too much, and he was weak on issues, and McCain wasn't strongly evangelical like Huckabee, and McCain wasn't going to give us, strong fucking capitalist governments like, who was the other, not Santorum, who was the other guy that ran in that there were a couple other, really popular 2007 Republican nominees. Or would it be 2008? It was 2008, sorry. I guess it would have just been Huckabee was a big one. He wasn't the super strong fucking he wasn't the super strong conservative that people wanted, right? Instead, he was just a little bit too much of this kind of skirting the aisle things. So what happened was Republicans started to see the Republican Party heading in a way that they didn't want it to. We don't want to be like the Democrats. We want to be strong, independent Republicans. We don't want this bullshit. So what happened is you're starting to get this divide. And what happened is this thing called the Tea Party the Tea Party, why is Destiny so obsessed about talking about this? Because politics is a really fucking important part of your country. If you're fucking 19, you don't give a fuck about any of this because none of it affects you, because maybe mommy and daddy still buy everything for you, you don't really give a fuck about any social or political issues, that's fine. Then go somewhere else, you fucking retard. Holy shit. This kind of shit is kind of important to the United States, at least, and really to the entire world, because believe it or not, the United States still has a large influence over the entire world. Anyway, so what you got was this growing discontent inside the Republican Party, where some people are like, we need to go back to real conservative morals. We need to go back to like real conservative values, real conservative principles. So what happened is you started to get this growing discontent inside the Republican Party that eventually manifested itself into what we know today as the Tea Party, right? Well, even when they first started, they called themselves the Tea Party, right? So the Tea Partiers literally got their name from the Boston Tea Party, right? Where the British, I guess it would have been the American, well, the British people in the United States went to the fucking boats and they dumped all the tea over because they didn't get to, I guess Great Britain was trying to pass tax laws on the colonists, but the colonists didn't have any representation in Parliament, so that's where the whole no taxation, no representation, they got mad, they dumped all the tea, right? So that's where the Tea Partiers got their name from, literally. So on its face, it kind of seemed like an okay thing, right? It kind of seemed like an okay thing. Like, okay, well, so now we have a party that's trying to pull the Republicans back to its roots. So now we have like an inside thing inside the Republican Party that's trying to get the Tea Party to go back to where it should have been, right? Which is conservatives stand for smaller government and more responsible spending and all of that shit, which is great, right?
This is the dankest dungeon.
I think all this US political thing could easily become a plot for an anime Mayo hidden meme. Yee.
So, okay, so that's kind of where we were at with the Tea Party, okay? But what happened was this Tea Party became a festering breeding ground and an attraction ground for every single fucking autistic and stupid and retarded fucking idea that Republicans had. So you started to get everybody heading in this direction. People that we have racists, we have idiots, you have people that basically every bad thought that Republicans have. You have the bootstraps people. You have the climate change deniers. You have the people that don't believe in evolution. Anti-negative. You have you've got the people that think we need to go to war with everybody. You've got the people who believe that I don't know, just every bad fucking stupid thought that you have. Oh, the evangelicals. Basically everything that was bad about the Republican Party was essentially distilled into the Tea Party. And that's where we're at now, where the Tea Party, unfortunately, has significant fucking sway. And then you get these impossible people, that just have impossibly stupid people. Like people that say shit like this. People that think that so what are some things, I could tell you everything about the Tea Party, okay? Because in the first 16 years of my life when I grew up, my parents are right now Tea Partiers and I grew up extremely conservative. So I know everything about this shit, okay? I promise. Right? So you can make a lot of statements about what Tea Partiers believe. America is a Christian nation is something that Tea Partiers would say. America was founded as a Christian nation, right? These are things that Tea Partiers believe, right? And you get things like this happening.
Several of those amendments to create. It is important for us in modern times to apply the Constitution, in my view, as it exists today and as it's been interpreted by our justices. And if there are settled pieces of constitutional law, like the separation of church and state, like the individual right to reproductive freedom that Roe versus Wade represents, that we've lived with and have lived under for decades, in my view, it is important to know whether you have on my side a candidate who believes and supports those things, and on the other side, a candidate who is both unfamiliar
Let me
with
just
it
clarify.
and is not supportive.
You're telling me that the separation of church and state is found in the First Amendment.
Government shall make no establishment of religion.
That's in the First Amendment.
All right, 8:15 here on 1150 a.m. WDEL. You are listening to a live debate. We are at Widener University School of Law this morning between U.S. Senate candidates Chris Coon and Christine O'Donnell.
This woman is she in the house? Hold on. Or did she not win any election? She might not. Okay. Okay, she ran for Senate. Best known for a 2010 campaign for the United States Senate seat from Delaware, vacated by... Oh, no, fuck! Is she in the Senate? Wait, is she? With strong financial support from the Tea Party movement, she defeated nine-term U.S. Representative, former Republican primary for the U.S. Senate. As a former Republican Party candidate... Wait, is she actually in the Senate? I can't tell. It looks like... Christine O'Donnell's Senate run was her third try for the office in 5 years. In 2008, she was Republican nominee, losing to the incumbent... Oh, never mind. Joe Biden. Wait, in 2006, she ran... After 2010, provided comment. Okay, wait, so she's not in the Senate? She won the primary and lost the election. Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. She lost in the general... Oh, yeah, fuck, it was the next one. She lost in the general election. Okay. But anyway, the Tea Party people... Tea Party people support like crazy fucking people who say like crazy fucking shit. Like this chick has said like the craziest fucking shit. Oh my fucking god. Insane shit.
O'Donnell spoke about this to MTV back in 1996. She spoke about her campaign to prevent kids from you-know-whating while they were alone. We have managed to obtain that tape now, and we can show it to you tonight for the first time.
My name is Christine O'Donnell. I am the president and founder of The SALT. The SALT stands for the Savior's Alliance for Lifting the Truth. We choose sexual purity in our lives. We have God-given sexual desires, and we need to understand them and preserve them to be used in God's appropriate context. We need to address sexuality with young people, and masturbation is part of sexuality, but it is important to discuss this from a moral point of view.
Masturbation is a selfish act, and it's a lustful one, and we are to walk with pure hearts, not adulterous, lusting hearts.
The Bible is clear in the fact that it says that any sexual act outside of the realm of marriage is wrong.
The Bible says that lust in your heart is committing adultery. So you can't masturbate without lust. The reason that you don't tell them that masturbation is the answer to AIDS and all these other problems that come with sex outside of marriage is because, again, it is not addressing the issue. You're going to be pleasing each other. And if he already knows what pleases him and he can please himself, then why am I in the picture?
These people are fucking crazy.
Do you still think masturbation is wrong?
Oh, let's not even go there.
Why? You went there?
Well, again, like I said, I address it in the book. At that time in my life, my goal was to reach out to young people, and there was a show, Sex in the 90s, on MTV, where it pretty much touted the philosophy that anything goes. And, there's no doubt, I don't think anyone would disagree, that there's a little bit of a crisis when it comes to whether it's AIDS or sexually transmitted disease or teenage pregnancies. So my goal at the time was to reach out to young people and try to present a view of sexuality that they weren't getting.
But are you still a supporter of total abstinence, even if you're on your own?
Are you the pro-masturbation talk show host?
Yes, why not? Yes.
Good for you for taking that stand. Right now...
If the option is to be the anti, I think I'd be in the pro department, yes.
Okay.
and I'm not afraid to say so. So over to you, Miss O'Donnell.
Well, what I'm going to do and what my goal is now is to fight for the freedom of speech in America that allows you to say that. I mean, that's what's my focus right now, is to fight for the constitutional principles that made our country great, because we do have a movement in Washington that is completely abandoning it. And
can I ask you, have you committed lust in your heart and therefore adultery since then?
Let's not even go there. Let's get the conversation back to the book. That's why I'm here.
Sorry, yeah. I mean, like, you can find a lot of different examples, I guess, of, like, Tea Party, people that Tea Party, this movement got completely hijacked by fucking, I feel like Glenn Beck had a lot to do with this. Many groups like Glenn Beck's 912 Tea Parties, TeaParty.org, the Iowa Tea Party, and Delaware Patriot organizations do act on social issues such as abortion, gun control, prayer in schools, and illegal immigration. Tea Party groups have protested TARP, which is okay, stimulus programs such as the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, cap and trade, healthcare reform such as the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, opposing amnesty for illegal immigrations. Mead says that the Jacksonian populists, such as the Tea Party, combine a belief in American exceptionalism and its role in the world with skepticism of America's ability to create a liberal world order. When necessary, they favor total war and unconditional surrender over limited wars for limited goals. Mead identifies two main trends, one somewhat personified by Paul and the other by Palin. Paulites have a Jeffersonian approach that seeks to avoid foreign military involvement, and Palinites, while seeking to avoid being drawn into unnecessary conflicts, favor a more aggressive response to maintaining... Anyway, yeah, anyway, so basically, the Tea Party people are fucking crazy. Right now, I feel like the best thing, I feel like the sickest fucking, most dank fucking shit that could happen is the Tea Party breaking off from the Republican Party and going to form their own party. And then the Republican Party can actually grow again and get, like, new people and actually be, like, real human beings, whether the Tea Party can go fuck off and, like, go to a different country or maybe all drink the Kool-Aid and kill themselves or something. Like, holy shit. So what's wrong with what she's saying other than you may disagree with her view? Because Republicans traditionally stand against things, or not Republicans, I should say, especially Tea Partiers. Okay, so I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. That's a fair question. What's wrong with what Christine O'Donnell? What fuck was that her name? What's wrong with what she is, O'Donnell, yeah. What's wrong with what she's saying? So having those beliefs aren't really wrong in and of themselves. If you want to believe whatever you want about sex and sexuality, you're fine to believe it. The problem is you get people like Tea Partiers trying to push for things like the destruction of Planned Parenthood. Where do you think this whole hype about the Planned Parenthood selling baby parts videos comes from? You get things like Tea Party people pushing back against sex education, pushing back against gay rights, basically everything they could possibly do to push back against getting children to responsibly understand and give them the ability to responsibly engage in sexual activity. Tea Partiers would rather see these people preach, like abstinence-only education, right? If you look at somebody like Sarah Palin is somebody that the Tea Party, I think, would probably look up to. She has endorsed and campaigned for the Tea Party movement, as well as several candidates in multiple election cycles.
Dungeon.
Good morning, Destiny. I found out today I might be getting laid off from my job. I could really use those lessons to cheer up. Sad face.
My fellow Americans.
I believe in you, Cake Fuck. Don't get laid off.
Divided.
That's not true. We have Bristol Palin's first live interview. You all know her as the daughter of Governor Sarah Palin, also a teen mother, one of 750,000 teen pregnancies each year. Sarah Palin became the Republican vice presidential candidate.
Our family has the same ups and downs as any other, the same challenges and the same joys.
But Bristol's smile betrayed the drama that invaded her life after in December, their relationship. Send a message. Bristol, of course, is joining us.
So big, he's awesome. He just started giggling.
That's the drama of what it was going to be.
Yeah, your priorities completely
at that time. Let me ask you, when you had to confront the decision that you knew you were in dad,
Out now will prevent girls from having to do that. And the hardest things you'll ever have to go through. And I hope that me speaking out now will prevent girls from having to do that in the future.
were you more worried that I'm pregnant or I have to tell my parents?
A little bit of both. I'm supportive and just, they were so surprised.
Should I tell them? Should I? The message, so this becomes a relevant issue in your own life. You got pregnant, why? Because you didn't choose to use protection? Was it a conscious choice? Did you want to have the baby? How did you get into the situation?
Regardless of what I did personally, I just think that abstinence is the only way that you can effectively 100% foolproof way to prevent pregnancy.
This is coming from somebody that had 2 kids. Bristol Palin has had 2 children out of wedlock now. Right? Can somebody... A second child.
It is, but it's a difficult choice, right?
It
I mean,
is.
for you, it proved to not be the way.
Yeah.
So how do you bridge the two for kids? You say, don't do it, don't have the sex, but you did. So how do you put those two together?
I'm not quite sure. I just want to go out there and just promote abstinence and just say this is the safest choice. This is the choice that's going to prevent teen pregnancy and prevent a lot of heartache.
So now...
Destiny, this interview is from 2009, though. I mean, I guess, I don't know what her, like, most recent thing. Did you ever see the commercial with her and the situation?
Damn. Well, excuse me, miss. Have you ever had a situation with the official situation?
Excuse me, Sitch?
Oh, snap, B. Palin.
You mean to tell me that girls actually fall for that line?
Come on, I mean, if those words don't work, I got the situation right there.
I hope you're as committed to safe sex as you are those abs.
I know you're all about that abstinence thing, you know, but I mean, come on, B. Palin, are you serious? Like, you're not gonna hook up with, like, before you're married? For real?
For real.
For real, for real?
For real, for real, for real.
All right, well, you know what? I mean, just in case you do get into a situation, I want to make sure that you are situated. Because if you do get into a situation with your situation, you may end up with a situation, and you may not like that situation.
Trust me, though, I'm not getting myself into another situation. I know how hard it is to be a teen parent.
You know what? I totally respect that. And I totally respect abstinence. I mean, it actually has the word abstinent. I mean, come on. I'm the situation. I love that.
Very funny, but I'm worried about you and you practicing safe sex.
I actually practice a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot.
Talk about the safe part of that.
The safe part, we got the safe part down pat. Wapile. Magnums. You know what? I might be able to spare one. I mean, you know.
Holy shit. What does the Candies Foundation advocate? Our mission. Our campaigns are making a difference. Research has shown that teen girls who have been exposed to the foundation and its messages are more likely to view teen pregnancy and parenthood as stressful and negative, and are more likely to be skeptical of the media's portrayal of teen pregnancy and parenting. Teens exposed to the campaign also believe their peers should wait longer to have sex versus those who are not aware of the foundation and the education it brings about teen parenthood. Wait, so where are the stats on, like, does it actually have less children or less people having children? Pro tip, it doesn't, because if it did, they would have those stats in here. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Okay, sorry, we kind of got off. Somebody linked another thing too. I think it was it Stin? Somebody linked a link about A Tea Party legislature in my state keeps attempting to make it a crime to do most of normal sex ed. We had that issue in Omaha, Nebraska recently. I think it had to do with gay education. LGBT sex education rapes children if they're innocent, according to an Omaha parent. This is from the Gay Times, so I don't know if this quote is actually...
I am a sophomore at Central High School. I have been in the OPS system since I was in graded school. Comprehensive sexual education is important for every single one of my peers. It is important to have all the information in order to make an educated decision regarding my body and how to take care of it. I have a right to this information. Every person, regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, and gender identity, have a right to accurate sexual education. In all of my classes at school, we are given accurate information, all of the information, so when our homework has a super hard problem on it, we are able to take all the information to determine the best answer. It is the same with sexual health. Information is important for making a decision. Innocence is not the same as ignorance. Ignorant decisions are due to a lack of information.
I am a mother, a grandmother, a wife, a former OPS employee, a retired OPS employee, an elementary school teacher, and elementary administrator. But I am here today to talk to you from my greatest gift of God, and that is being a Catholic. Your decision is not political, it's not educational. You have a moral decision to make. I would like for each of you, and I'm going to say this twice so that people have a chance to write it down, and I hope that you'll write it down. I hope you are working from a Bible that is worn out. I hope you are working from a Bible that is worn out. I ask you to read 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 18 through 20. It says, "Flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a man commits are outside of his body, but he who sins sexually sins against his own body. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You are bought for a price. Therefore, honor God
with your body." Fuck. I exited out. Wrong tab.
I am a
Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God. For honor God and your body. You will someday be judged. We will all be judged.
I fail watching your stream. I see the crazies of America when it comes to religion/politics. Is this a normal thing, or are these the extremes? No, this is normal. In the Republican Party, because of the Tea Party, this kind of stuff is normal. That's just fucking crazy. And it is. It's actually fucking crazy how, I don't know, dude. This whole thing, the Tea Partiers need to break off from the Republican. This will never happen, obviously. This is like a fantasy. The Tea Party needs to break off from the Republican Party, go form, and then in 20 years when they're all fucking dead, then we can actually go back to having a two-party system in the United States, right? I've said this, I've said this like a million times before, unfortunately. The United States of America, if you're a sane person, you pretty much have one political party. You have to be a Democrat. If you're a sane person in the United States, you're only a Democrat. You just can't be anything else. Because of everything that the Republican Party is divided over right now. Like, how can you align yourself with a political party that thinks that evolution shouldn't be taught in school, or that creationism should be presented alongside evolution as a legitimate thing, or that America needs to have the biggest rebuilder military and go to war with fucking China and the Red China and the Soviet Union and North Korea and all these people all at the same time? Or how can you be in a political party that's against things like cap and trade because they think that global warming is something that was just made up by China?
All right, well, the president pushing green jobs, as we've been saying, even global pay, is now on the phone for this exclusive chat. Donald, very good to have you.
Hi, Neil.
First off, on these companies pulling out of this, maybe they're catching on to something you had warned about. What do you make of this?
Well, I don't blame them. They probably see the email that was sent a couple of months ago by one of the leaders of global warming, the initiative, and, almost saying, I guess they're saying it's a con. And, they see things like that. They see the fact that in Washington, where I'm building a big development, nobody can move because we have 48 inches of snow. And the snow isn't melting because it's so cold. And in New York, we've had the coldest winter on record. And all over Europe, by the way, I have friends in Europe, they're freezing. It's so cold. It's never been colder.
But Donald, I talked to a lot of the environmentalists and global warmers, whatever you call them, who have been saying, well, this is global warming. This is what happens.
Well, the problem we have is that the world is also got to play the game. And we're scrubbing our coal, and we're doing all sorts of things that are making our products much more expensive and non-competitive. And places like...
You have people that, so you can't be a Republican if you're like, the evolution thing in school is like, the thing is, the funny thing about the Tea Party is that they have all these beliefs that on their own would be deal breakers. Like, I wouldn't align myself with a group of people that think that creationism should be taught in school, ever. It doesn't matter what the rest of your beliefs is. That's a deal breaker on its own. But then you have things like climate change is fake. That's another deal breaker. How are you going to have that position now? It's current year, not previous year. How are you going to have that position now? Or people that think that America is a Christian nation and was founded as a Christian nation, and we need to bring back prayer in the schools and keep under God in our pledge and have been God we trust on our money. How fucking weird is that? How weird? How do you even live? Does this not seem strange? You literally have on the I don't know how many people think this is a joke, or how many people even know it's on the American money you actually have the words "in God we trust," right? You actually have those words on American currency, on official American currency, on every piece of currency we have. And the First Amendment, right, which is part of the Bill of Rights, which was so fucking important to the Founding Fathers. It was so important that they wouldn't ratify. Do you know why the Bill of Rights was put in the Constitution? Because half the fucking people wouldn't even ratify. They said, fuck no, we are not going along with this Constitution unless you include the Bill of Rights. If you don't include it, fuck off. We're not going to do it, right? It was so important. And the very fucking First Amendment, it literally says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. The very fucking First Amendment on the Constitution that wouldn't have been passed had it not been included, right? And then you have these people saying that oh yeah, American, yeah, totally is a fucking Christian nation. It's so fucking crazy. That was introduced back in the 1900s. Yeah, and I think the under God part of the pledge was in 1952 or whatever. 1948. Sorry. Holy shit. Oh, wait, never mind. On August 21st, 1952, the Supreme Council of the Knights... Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, anyway, around this time in the 1950... Oh, 1954? But yeah, holy shit. Are you 100% sure it's only the Tea Party? No, I think that the Tea Party I think that there are normal Republicans with fucked up beliefs too, but the problem is the Tea Party embodies the worst of the Republican Party, and they wear it as a badge of honor. The hardcore evangelical point of view, the hardcore anti-intelligence point of view, with the anti-global warming because they think it's just the government trying to control you and take your jobs, with the anti all the drugs because I don't know, the anti-prostitution because they're huge moralists. It's pretty much the Tea Party is the fucking craziest evangelical ignorant people. It's insane, dude. It's so fucking insane. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry, we're done. What's worse is that every U.S. Congress opens with a prayer. Yeah, how about the fact that we have to pledge to the fucking Bible when we go under oath? Destiny, the Tea Party is mainly about defending the Constitution, not religion. Bullshit! That's only said by people in the Tea Party who have no fucking idea what the fuck the Constitution even fucking says. That's such fucking horseshit, dude.
Destiny, you realize the Democratic Party is also the feminist party, right?
Republicans will always wear that Constitution shit around like, oh no, the Constitution. Oh no, the Constitution. While simultaneously pushing for religion in public schools, pushing for 10 Commandments monuments in federal fucking courthouses, fucking bullshit. And pushing to keep under God as part of the Pledge of Allegiance because it's a Christian nation. The Tea Party people are some of the worst people to have any understanding of the fucking Constitution and history. Pushing for things like larger government, which invades your fucking social fucking rights. Like, oh, we need government to tell us that we can't have any kind of drugs in our fucking lives, right? Wow, that's where do you get in the Constitution? You know, in the Constitution, the federal government doesn't actually have the power to go after fucking drugs, right? That's why in the fucking 1920s, when was prohibition? We knew this at one point in time. United States of America. Nationwide prohibition not started until 1920. Then went into effect and was repealed. In 1920, we knew that, hey, the federal government can't actually go after drugs. If we want to do this, we have to amend our Constitution to do it. And they did it. And prohibition came about as an amendment to the Constitution, right? And then they,
The dankest dungeon.
Destiny, in Brazil we also have a "In God We Trust." Even though the Constitution should also prohibits things like that. It's not only an American problem.
Yeah, I don't know shit about Brazil. At one point in time, the United States government, when they wanted to get rid of alcohol, they knew that they at least had to pass an amendment to do it, but we don't even bother doing that anymore. You know, we don't even bother, like, now they just have the war on drugs and they do it through all these little federal workarounds and the fucking Commerce Clause and stupid shit. Yeah. So don't fucking tell me about how fucking any Tea Partier believes in the Constitution. That's some fucking bullshit. Most Tea Partiers have no fucking idea what the fuck anything in the Constitution even says or means. They literally think that the United States is a Christian nation founded under Christian values and that religion is under attack in America. Fuck that shit. The Tea Partiers don't know fuck all about the Constitution. Seriously. Fuck off. All right, anyway. Okay, I think it's time anyway. We're done. We're moving. Anyone, I'm done. Destiny is retarded. Oh, okay. Let's see what let's see what this guy is saying in chat, because apparently I triggered him pretty hard. What did he say? Anyone that believes in man-made global warming is retarded. Whereas something like 97% of like every single scientific institution in the world. I'm trying to see if I can find this number again. I don't remember where it's at. They're all retarded. Oh, scientific opinion on climate change. The scientific consensus is that the Earth's climate change is unequivocally warming and that it is extremely likely, meaning of at least 95% probability or higher, that humans are causing most of it through activities that increase concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, such as deforestation and burning fossil fuels. In addition, it is likely that some potential further greenhouse gas warming has been offset by increased aerosols. No scientific body of national or international standing maintains a formal opinion dissenting from any of these main points. The last national or international scientific body to drop dissent was the American Association of Petroleum Geologists, which in 2007 updated a statement to its current non-committal position. This is another fun thing that ignorant fucking Tea Party fucks do, is they try to pretend that there's scientific debate about topics that aren't scientifically debated. Destiny, why do you find a wiki page on this to prove some idiot wrong? It's common sense that global warming is human fault. Well, because there are a lot of people that don't actually believe this. There are a lot of people that are this fucking stupid. If there weren't, then the Tea Party wouldn't exist in the United States. Because that guy in my chat that just said, this is probably like this dude. How many times have we watched this clip?
Mr. President, I'm reminiscent with the snow on the ground.
Wow, Republican, go figure. In Hoffy. Oh, no Tea Party association. Whew. He is a Republican, though.
5 years ago. The occupier of the chair, I say, Mr. President, was not here at that time, and so you don't have the advantage of knowing the story that's behind this. And the story that's behind this that's back when they first started all the hysteria on global warming. And it happened to be a snowstorm that had been unprecedented. It set a record that year. And there's a charming family of 6, I say to my friend in the chair, that built this, and their picture is here. And that happens to be my daughter and her family of 6. And at that time, it got a lot of attention. Actually, it got a lot of national attention. And in case we have forgotten, because we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest year on record, I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball. And that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out, very unseasonal. So here, Mr. President, catch this.
This guy was like one of the ranking members on the, on like the environment. Oh, fuck, wait, it said it right at the top. First elected this in 1994, he was the ranking member of the United States Senate Committee on Environment and Public Works. He was its chairman from 2003 to 2007, then regained the chairmanship in January of 2015. Oh! This is the United States Republican Party. Ladies and gentlemen. Destiny, just because a vocal minority of the Tea Party is retarded doesn't discredit its main stance. Lower debt, reduce government spending, and reduce taxes. Okay, that's a bullshit stance. Lower debt, reduce government spending, and reduce taxes. That doesn't work on its own until you get rid of... You have to address lobbying of corporations and Congress. If you don't address that, literally nothing you say fucking matters. You're literally a fucking... Like the... Oh, fuck. Sorry, okay. Let me do this let me do this dispassionately. Okay, so if you are a Tea Party person and you believe in lower taxes and you believe in greater capitalism and all this other shit...
Is the dankest dungeon.
The Deck of Independence was the moral framework that many feel that the Constitution should be interpreted in, like Lincoln. Under God is not establishing religion or specific reference. It is a recognition in something greater than flawed humanity.
Okay, I don't understand the point of that, but okay. You cannot just say, like, we want lower taxes and we want trickle-down economics and we want fucking corporations to keep all infinite money and we want less government spending without also, like, proposing things to counteract the fact that everybody is getting fucked. Like, that's not a realistic position. Like, do you honestly believe right now that America is getting fucked because our taxes are too high? Like, who believes that? Destiny, does your mom believe in climate change? Of course not. My mom thinks that it's just a big hoax. Of course not. Why would my mom believe in climate change? Also, if you're a Tea Party person and you are, you're campaigning for things like smaller government, and at the same time, you want the federal government to be involved in prosecuting things like prostitution or fucking drug charges, you're a huge hypocrite. You're a huge hypocrite. Also, if you're a Tea Party person and you're in favor of smaller government, but you want the United States to go to war with every fucking country in the world, you're a huge hypocrite. Governments that go to war are big governments that need lots of taxes and lots of money in order to fund their fucking empires. What the fuck? Does my mom believe in evolution? Of course not. My mom believes in creationism. I'm a Tea Party and you're totally strawmanning the entire movement. Okay, maybe I'm strawmanning the entire movement. My bad. I'm just looking at things like the candidates that you guys endorse, like Christine O'Donnell, and the people that have hijacked your movement, like Glenn Beck, okay? I listen to these, like, show me some good Tea Party fucking... show me who are Tea Party candidates. Let's look up some Tea Party candidates, okay? The Tea Party movement is likely to have 3 serious presidential candidates. Senator Ted Cruz, who's fucking crazy, Rand Paul, who's a little bit crazy, and Marco Rubio, who is fucking crazy. These are your spokespeople, dog. Don't tell me that I'm strawmanning your movement when these are the people that you guys have endorsed. When 2 of the 3 of the presidential candidates that you have are Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, how are you gonna tell me that I'm strawmanning your movement, dog? Fuck off. You fucking sit in the grave that you fucking dug yourself. Come on, dude. Are you fucking serious? Who do we have in Nebraska? Who are the popular people here? What do we think? This Tea Party shit is fucking cancer. Holy shit. Holy shit. What makes Ted Cruz crazy? Ted Cruz on the issues. Because Ted Cruz is a guy that wants to go to war with the fucking world, that thinks that religion is under attack in the United States, that wants to return America to its Christian roots. What did Ted Cruz say in the Iowa caucus?
Final moments here together. We're going to allow the candidates to offer their final thoughts. But first, we want to ask them an interesting closing question from Chase Norton on Facebook, who wants to know
Destiny,
this.
if your mom's Catholic, tell her the Vatican believes in evolution. My mom hates the new pope, and a lot of super hardcore traditional Catholics do not like the new pope.
Of the candidates. I want to know if any of them have received a word from God on what they should do and take care of first. Senator Cruz, start from you. Any word from God?
Well, I am blessed to receive a word from God every day and receiving the scriptures and reading the scriptures, and God speaks through the Bible. I'm the son of a pastor and an evangelist, and I've described many times how my father, when I was a child, was an alcoholic. He wasn't a Christian, and my father left my mother and left me when I was just 3 years old, and someone invited him to Clay Road Baptist Church, and he gave his heart to Jesus, and it turned him around, and he got on a plane, and he flew back to my mother and me. I would also note that the scripture tells us, you shall know them by their fruits. We see lots of campaign conservatives, but if we're going to win in 2016, we need a consistent conservative, someone who's been a fiscal conservative, a social conservative, a national security conservative. There are real differences among the candidates on issues like amnesty, like Obamacare, like religious liberty, like life and marriage. And I have been proud to fight and stand for religious liberty, to stand against Planned Parenthood, to defend life for my entire career. And I will be proud to continue to do so as President of the United States.
These are the political candidates in the United States of America. This is at a political debate in the United States of America. People are talking about how much they love God. Oh, he had a really good quote. Fuck, hold on. I think somebody made like a Reddit post on comparing it to like saying like Allahu Akbar.
That has always been the strength of this campaign. Are the men and women gathered here and courageous conservatives standing up and speaking out and lifting us up in prayer, lifting this country up in prayer each and every day.
A man in a suit claiming communion with the divine. Madness, milady.
Our Iowa State Chairman, Matt Schultz, you have done organizing. And Steve King, after week, have been crawling. Steve Dace. People of faith. 150 pastors across the state of Iowa who joined our team to energize people of faith. We are grateful to the state senators, to the state representatives, to the volunteer leaders, and Tony Perkins, Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck. Oh, shit.
Leaders, actually, not remotely. I don't scare them in the tiniest bit. What scares them is you.
Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to find them. Oh, was it? I might have skipped over it in there. To God be the glory. Can you, could you imagine if like a Muslim candidate was running and they got on the stage after winning like the thing and they're like, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Jesus Christ. Ain't the problems in the USA that basically everybody who lives in between East and West Coast is retarded? No, there's plenty of retarded people on the coast too, mate. I love how mad like Tea Partiers in my chat get when they think that I like misrepresent their political party, and we can just find link after link after link after link of like absolutely fucking autistic shit that Tea Party people do. Ted Cruz on abortion. Companies should be able to deny ensuring birth control? Opposes churches providing birth control? Gets rid of cap and balance. Oh wait, never mind. That's something. That's not cap and trade. Sorry. Overturn the Supreme Court with an anti-gay marriage amendment. This is Ted Cruz, guys. This is your Tea Party candidate. Overturn the Supreme Court with anti-gay marriage amendment. Opposes gay pride parades and opposes gay marriage. I mean, I oppose gay pride parades. Those things are fucking shit. But opposes gay marriage. Supports defining traditional marriage. Why do you constantly check Ted Cruz's shit? Because people are like, why do you actually hate Ted Cruz? There's plenty of Ted Cruz and corporations get senseless obstacles from Washington out of the way. Click here for the full quote. Oh, rip. Supports the death penalty. Fully monitors sexual predators and bring them to justice. What does that mean? Education decisions are best made at local level. Fuck Common Core. Get rid of cap and trade. Opposes the unrelenting assault on traditional marriage. U.S. has a responsibility to defend our values abroad. Is Rubio not the most sane Tea Party candidate? Rubio is like just as bad. Do we want to go through like every... Maybe Rubio might not be just as bad. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm going to backtrack on that completely. Rubio is not just as bad. Rubio was still really bad, but he's not just as bad. The way that this election looked like it was going was Ted Cruz is going to be the extremist guy who he's eventually going to drop off because he was too extremist, and then all of those people would go to Rubio, who would actually have a chance in the general election, maybe. Rubio's not as bad as Cruz, but... Birth control exemption for faith-based organizations. Require an ultrasound before performing abortions. Voted against funding stem cell research. Freeze spending for everything but defense at 2008 levels. What? Disapprove of increasing the debt limit, which has to happen. Do you like any Republican candidates? No. Leave gay marriage to the state. So he's kind of wishy-washy on gay marriage. Not as crazy as Cruz, but still pretty bad. Cut corporate tax rates. A lower corporate tax rate. Eliminate taxes on capital gains. Toughen laws against prostitution. Mandatory life sentences for repeat sex offenders. What does that mean? Endless death row appeals hinder justice, so we need to have less appeals on death row. Holy shit. Medical marijuana be okay, but not recreational use. There's no responsible way to recreationally use marijuana. I wonder if he drinks. Enforce federal laws in states with legal pot? Damn. Private lenders get percentage of students' income? What? I'd have to look more at that. Addressing global warming would destroy our economy. Climate is always changing. It's not from human activity. Human activity is not causing climate change. Our government can't control the weather. Grow our energy industry, not clean energy. Cap and trade scheme destroys jobs. Voted yes on barring the EPA from regulating greenhouse gases. My state rights, except for pot, then federal power is awesome. It's so true. That's the funny shit. When you see Tea Party's like, Constitution, the Constitution. Can you show me what in the United States Constitution? I think I said this on stream before, but the Bill of Rights was a mistake. And the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights was like the first mistake in a long line of fuck-ups for the Constitution. The way that the United States Constitution is supposed to work is if in the United States of America, if the Constitution doesn't specifically delegate a power to hold on one second. Delineate. I used to think that delineate meant something different. Anyway, if the United States Constitution doesn't like specifically delegate a power to the federal government, then the federal government can't do it, and it's left to the states, right? And one of the problems with the I think it seems kind of like with the Bill of Rights is that as soon as that shit started happening, we got into a thing where it's like, well, if the Constitution says that the federal government can't do it, then it can do it, right? We kind of like shifted mentality, which I think was part of the arguments against the Bill of Rights, but ultimately they were thrown into the Constitution so it would pass. Yeah, it's kind of funny if you ask a Tea Partier, like, where in the Constitution does the federal government have the right to go after, like, marijuana people or ban prostitution? Like, I'd be interested to see a Tea Partier's response